Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening viewers. Today is Monday, November 27, 2023. Happy gathering with us in the broadcasting news program of SMAN TV, which will provide you with real news that is taken factually from the field, either national or international. I am Anadhofatul Sukmananda and I will accompany you for 10 minutes later with many kinds of information. And the headline for today is about Indonesia's quest for developed country status faces economic hurdles. Well, let's begin with the news today. Indonesia is soon likely to achieve developed country status by 2045 due to the less than optimal growth of its domestic economy. In order to ascend to developed country status, a nation typically requires sustained annual economic growth of 7% for 15 consecutive years. However, in the release of a white paper titled From LPEM for Indonesia Economic and Social Agenda 2024 to 2029, it is evident that Indonesia has not met the prerequisite conditions. According to data from economic think tank, the Institute for Economic and Social Research of the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Indonesia, LPEMFEBUI, the various factors contributing to Indonesia's potential failure to attain developed country status are linked to stagnant economic growth that has yet to reach the 5% mark. Furthermore, annual loan growth has never surpassed the 15% threshold. Additionally, the tax to GDP ratio has never exceeded 11% and has remained as low as 9.9% over the past decade. The contribution of the industrial sector to GDP has declined to 18%, while extreme poverty persists at a rate of 1.7%. Chaikal Nuryakin, the head of the LPMFEBUI, described this economic condition as encountering an insurmountable barrier at every turn. Chaikal mentioned that it seemed they had hit a glass ceiling everywhere. The Dean of the UI Faculty of Economics and Business, Teguh Hartanto, one of the authors of the white paper, expressed that those were very critical notes. He considered whether the dream was realistic or not and pondered they need to rethink the concept of Indonesia Emas 2045 or Golden Indonesia 2045, or it might have become Indonesia Cemas 2045 or Worrying Indonesia 2045. Chaikal underlined the importance of an alternative strategy to mitigate the economic impact in case Indonesia fails to achieve developed country status. One of these strategies involves preparing Indonesia's substantial middle-class populations, which accounts for 40 to 80% of the total Indonesian population. He highlighted that in order to achieve the Indonesia Emas 2045 vision, future governments after President Joko or Joko Widodo could draw inspiration from developing countries that have successfully transitioned into high-income nations, such as Japan, South Korea, and the Scandinavian countries. According to Chaikal, these nations have progressed by enhancing their research and innovation capacities and by focusing on advancing the quality of their human resources. By applying these actions, he said Indonesia will no longer be a consumer of goods and services and law and technology, but will also have the ability to become a producer engaged in the global ecosystem supply chain. Chaikal stated that Indonesia should have cultivated a strong and innovative middle class. He remarked that if they did not attain developed country status by 2045, Indonesia would still possess a strong and productive middle class. He believed that this could be accomplished through improving equal opportunities and access to quality education and health care, creating formal sector employment, enhancing basic infrastructure, and implementing comprehensive social safety nets. Cheiko mentioned that this would serve as the primary and perhaps the sole means to realize the Indonesia Emas 2045 dream. He emphasized that economic growth during Jokowi's first term was inclusive, but it became non-inclusive in the second term. Separately, coordinating Economic Minister Airlangga Hartarto was upbeat that Indonesia would still become a developed country by 2045, in contrast to the projections of the LPEM FEBUI. Airlangga also affirmed that Indonesia has undergone various economic transformations, insisting that the 2045 developed Indonesia target will be achieved. He said that the government's optimism was grounded in Jokowi's successful ability to lead Indonesia into the process of joining the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD). Airlangga conveyed on Tuesday that the Indonesian government was always optimistic. He mentioned that they were in the process of joining the OECD framework, so those were many preparations for the next transformations. Well, viewers, that's all the news for today. If you have any criticisms or suggestions, please comment in the comment section below. And the wise word for today is do the best and don't think to be the best. Finally, I am Anadhofatul Sukmananda. See you next time and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.